Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing good. I just got off the call.
Good.
How are you doing?
I am doing good. Glad I'm off work. Glad I'm finally have a little bit of time for the kids come home so I can just do something that's gonna not be sleeping, but I like cleaning and cooking. I actually enjoy doing, so I'm gonna just stick with that right now. See where I end up.
Or
Um, but yeah, I'm really glad that you could join us. I don't think I said yet, but this is the Rebirth Society. Um, we are trying to start having more conversations, just to community build, to share space with people, to talk about some of the things that me and Lisa have individual interest in, um, and see where this can flourish from that. So they're just here to join me in that. And I'm going to let you go ahead and give your spiel, whatever that may be. Talk about yourself, whatever you're
yeah.
comfortable with.
Okay, yeah. I'm Deja. That's my government given parents' name. Love it so much. And I have a company called the Root Doctress. I am a Root Doctress. And with that, I wanted to give a medicinal offering. Root Doctress. And with that, I wanted to give a medicinal offering. Um, that was rooted in sustainability and something easy to access. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided on tinctures because I don't know if you use tinctures, but they're like easy. They're
I
on
do.
the go. You just drop them in some juice, drop them in your tongue. The medicine is there, and you keep your day going. Because I
Mm-hmm.
know for me, I buy all the herbs, all the barks, and it takes so much to prepare that sometimes I leave it to the wayside. Because life,
That's fair.
yeah, right.
That's definitely fair.
Yeah. So I actually have my bottles right here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one. So the first one is solar power. This is my most popular one. It's for energy, and it's an energy adaptogen. And then I have one for menstrual support, which is red moon ritual.
Okay.
And I have mojo working. I love to say that, which is for mood support.
Wonderful
And
book
then,
as well.
yes. And then I have matriarch magic, which is for menopause support.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say the word matriarch, it actually took me a long time to come up with this word matriarch magic, because menopause is something that happens later in a woman's life cycle, right? But
Mm-hmm.
not all those women may be identified as mother, or so I tried to find a word that encompassed everyone. And I thought
Right.
that matriarch was a great word because it just embodies the woman of that age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. So when you
That's
said mother
wonderful.
and people that might identify as mothers, but didn't maybe naturally birth,
Mm-hmm.
matriarch, I thought about the word matriarch. So
That
yeah,
makes
those
a
are
lot of
my
sense.
offerings. And yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So quick question about the when you're like coming up with how you're going to like have the herbs work with each other, right? What are some of the ways that you, if you feel comfortable sharing, um, what are some of the ways that you feel like you have sought out information for learning about those herbs? Like, is it more like family knowledge passed down? Did you have to go to books or elders or?
Great. That's actually a great question because I first learned about root work through my dreams, actually. I started with
Mm-hmm.
my dreams being the place that taught me how to start. And then from there, it was community, meaning I went to stores, I asked questions, and I just learned straight from the foot of elders. And then I went to books, and then
Mm-hmm.
to make my business, which came, I mean, I'm telling you, it came 8 years after me doing my own research, learning, and knowledge. I didn't just straight jump into
Jump
project.
into it, right?
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so then when I chose to do the products, I partnered with a local herbalist that I've known for about 4 years now. That's a staple in the community, and we partnered together to make my products. So that's actually a great question because it was a journey. It wasn't happenstance or just smack my sticker on something.
Right.
It's really an offering. So Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love how that naturally happened. There's a lot of the things that you're talking about are things that we want to explore when we talk to mamas this weekend. Um, Around what do we call that point that you get to in your life, where you may not have children yet, but you want to kind of explore that. Mama seems like the acceptable term for the knowledge that we currently have, but we're hoping to talk about that more with women who identify in that way. Another thing that you brought up that kind of is similar to the things we're going to talk about, that piece about, they're looking to that whole like just had a baby brain fog thing is real. Um, so yes, that piece that that you were sharing about finding people in your community that like also have similar values, that have similar interests to you, and working alongside them and with them to kind of like gain that knowledge. Also sitting with your elders, like you hit all the check marks, absolutely. Um, and so we wanted to explore that as well. Like, how do we learn about not only this phase of like even just supporting mothers with children. Like I know that there are some women who are going to be there who kind of identify more so as like aunties because they may
Mm-hmm.
have siblings or close friends who also have children,
Mm-hmm.
and they take care of them when they spend a lot of time with them. Another thing as well that I feel like I want to explore this weekend is that piece about dreaming, right? And like how like stuff comes to us in our dreams. I feel like it's something that always resonated with me, but when I became a mother, it resonated a little bit differently because there's like a point where I don't know if I do know for a fact that other mothers have told me that they've experienced this as well. There's a point where you kind of are not sure um, what reality is. You know what I mean? Like you're faced with all of these ideas about what motherhood's supposed to look like, what it's supposed to be like when you get to that point in your life, and then you get there and you're like, this shit is not what y'all said it was going to be for several reasons. Not all good, not all bad, but just different. And the lack of community for some of us to explore that is something that we're kind of focused on trying to create.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, am I making sense so far? Again, I'm
Yeah,
like
you are. Yeah.
floating in
And
ether sometimes. But yeah, all that to say that I feel like a lot of this work that me and Liz are doing together originated from our dreams, is kind of similar to what you're saying, formulated from our dreams. Things that we had thought about, whether it be when we're adults, when we're children, but
mm-hmm.
especially when we became mothers and came into that space of like creating life. And you explore what other ways you kind of have created throughout your life. Um, and so, yeah, wanting to have conversations around that is definitely something that's really a value and really important to us. But going off of that, I'm done with my ranting for the moment.
Well, yeah, when
um,
you talk about dreams creating your reality, like I totally believe in that because dreams are something, I don't know if you've seen my page, but it's something very important for me. They've been the catalyst through my like whole journey. So I could talk
mhm.
about dreams forever. And something that I'm exploring within dreams right now is having a safe space to dream. And what I find is that it starts before you even get in the bed to be able to dream. It starts
Okay.
with letting go of fear. It starts with addressing what's in your subconscious. It starts with having a bedtime routine to really take away the day from your body and get into dream home. And I
That's
actually
fair.
have been like slowing down myself because I'm a natural dreamer. So I never had to take extra steps to dream. But once I started to want to dream with intention, I saw sleeping as a ritual and going to sleep as a ritual. So that means maybe taking a bath with lavender oil, going slow when you lather your body, making sure your bed is not cluttered, which is hard for me.
Yeah.
Lighting a candle or some incense before you go to sleep to do the aromatherapy to relax your mind. And a big one that's hard for me also is turning off devices at least 30 minutes before you're about to go to sleep because
Yeah.
it interferes with your subconscious mind when you're going into that realm. And if you're trying to
That's
create a
fair.
reality and if your thoughts are the pre form of your reality, then you have to take control of what forms your thoughts, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I call it dream home. So creating a safe space to dream, and that's something that I've been researching lately, and Yeah, so I
That makes
totally
a lot of
relate to
sense.
that. And then when it comes to motherhood and dreams, I'm not a mother. I'm an older sister of 5, and I have a mother and an amazing auntie.
Are you the
And what I
oldest?
see, yeah, I'm the oldest of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
what I
that comes with
see is
its own
that,
kind of maternal energy as well, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly, exactly. And what I see is that we're in our own timelines for real. And growing up, being 26, now I understand that my parents were in their own timelines, putting together pieces for themselves. And it really put me in a place of compassion and forgiveness, because now that I'm this age and I'm the oldest of 5, what I think the motherhood representation I would be, I don't always have that space to hold, if that makes sense, because I'm in
Yeah.
my own
Okay.
timeline, and shit gets chaotic. And I'm not excusing myself, but it's like a reality. And it helped me to forgive the elders in my life. You know what I'm saying?
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I do think we come to this point where we're kind of like addressing that, like forgiving our elders for decisions that they made
Yeah.
or things like that. And sorry, one second. Um, Forgiving our elders for things that we observed them do and giving them grace. And I think it's definitely uniquely different once you get to that like 20, how old are you?
26.
Okay, 26, 27-year old range where you're kind of like your brain fully starts developing and like all the stuff is kind of wrapping up and you're kind of assessing all the things that you experienced and who you've experienced them with. And I feel like a lot of grace definitely comes with that. A lot of grief comes with that. Sometimes anger as well. And being able to be in a space where you can navigate that among other people, I think is important. I think we encourage a lot of people to go to therapy. And while I'm in therapy myself, I think it is a great tool among the many to kind of keep yourself in a place where you feel um, you're moving in alignment for the things that you want to be doing, right? Like it doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as when those waves do come, you're able to still stabilize yourself. And I think that a key part of that for me, especially with becoming a mother, has been acknowledging that like I can't do this with just going to therapy and talking to my partner and occasionally my family um, about some of the things that I'm going through because we all have our own things we have to deal with as well. Um, just kind of sitting with all that is hard as fuck at times, but I'm also at a place where I'm like, if I can help create and cultivate that space, not only for myself but other people, which is something that I know that I'm capable of doing and I'm capable of doing well. I think it would make a lot
You're
of the other
doing it right
areas like
now. For real,
thank
you are.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And just kind of coming back into that space where I'm even open to doing it because I got to a space where I was just so jaded about like being exploited in that space of wanting to cultivate spaces for people and wanting to like um, do things around community in a space where everyone else can be safe and I can be safe and I'm not just like all of my energy is being exerted into an area where I'm not sure if I'm benefiting um,
Right,
or if I'm
right.
giving too much, you know what I mean? And so I think I'm finding that space here and I'm able to have a lot more freedom about what ways I want to go about creating this with Lissa. And I really appreciate that a lot. So I'm definitely vibing with everything you're saying. It makes so much sense to me that even as like an oldest of 5, that you would still be having similar experiences. And that's also part of it as well, is that I feel like there's a lot of discourse around motherhood and around children and a lot of other things. And a lot of it is like heavily laced and heavily jaded with like our traumatic experiences with being children around other adults. And like even now as adults, seeing other people raise their kids and being like, well, I don't want to do it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, I don't know, trying to find the balance between being able to have those conversations amongst each other, but also having safe space for like individual groups if needed, and having that fluidity as well to be able to assess, like, okay, well, I think this space needs to be created now, so let's make an adjustment um, to the timeline of events that we may have of how we're going to hold space for people. So, no, this is super dope. Thank you for joining me with this because this is helping me a lot kind of be accountable with the stuff I said I was going to do after having a second child. So I appreciate this. Thank you.
No, I appreciate
Um,
you. Like you said, you're getting
Absolutely.
used to talking to people. Like that's me. Like I stopped saying I'm an introvert. I don't have the word for what it is right now, but I just totally resonate with what you say. But at the same time, I'm so happy to have this conversation that I keep smiling, because when you just, like you said, sometimes it goes outside of the people directly next to you to have the conversation. When you're able to extend your thoughts to other people that are outside of your direct circle, it just feels so good,
It
especially when
does.
it feels like a resonance. So it just brings me joy that we're having these conversations, and I know that people in other places are creating spaces, like for
For the
real.
same thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I hesitated a lot before like getting to a place of doing this. I kind of have done like test runs in other areas and other people that I've collaborated with as well.
yeah,
And contributed to whatever projects they have. And I'm still in that space of like just trying to create, and wherever my stuff ends up, that's where it ends up, and
that
I'll see
part,
how it goes. Um,
that
but
part.
mainly just creating the space so that people who are like more outgoing than I am and more interested in like being in the forefront can also hold that space, because I'm just, doing the best I can to make sure that the space exists. And then hopefully I can just be in the background making sure everything is still running smoothly.
Yeah.
But
I agree
yeah,
with that. I call myself like a mystic organizer. Like, I meet so many amazing people that are so outgoing that I just want to create the place for them to do what they need to do and just make it flow. So
hmm
I like, yes, you're talking my language for sure.
no, absolutely. This shit is wild. As much as I've kind of sat with myself throughout this pandemic, I've gotten to a place where I just been more honest with myself about what I wanted out of like my. I'm not even sure if career is the right word anymore. Um, I'm still trying to figure that out. And like kind of what you said, like don't even have a word for it. I'm also exploring like there's not language for a lot of this stuff. Um,
Right.
that feels like it feels right. So I'm trying to like sorry, one second.
Did I pause? Oh.
Right, I had my child's grandmother texting me to update me. No, I had to double check to make sure that the babies were good. Uh, and then I instantly forgot what I'm talking about. What was I talking about? Um, I don't know, girl. I was talking about something.
Yeah, it's
I
all
don't
good.
know. But that shit happens all the time too. And just also being able to hold space for like I work in corporate America. So like all day long I'm like
Wait,
being
for what?
pressured.
What did
I
you
work in corporate America, like during the
right?
daytime. So like having to be in that space and not really being able to be myself is like been really taxing on me. Um
Mm-hmm.
and although I'm kind of things are evolving and people are saying that things are supposed to end up one way at some point, I'm just kind of in a place of like, okay, well, what if I could just enjoy myself in another space and be myself somewhere else outside of class again.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was
Hold on,
me.
can you see me?
Like, oh no.
No, it is definitely me. It is definitely me. That's the other thing about me is that I'm not always my phone is like always on 10% or something. So that
Nah,
was it letting me know that it's about to die soon. But I'm just exploring all these different areas of like life. I'm just gonna exploring these different areas of my life and trying to find a way to fulfill the things I feel like I'm lacking in certain spaces, like at work. Um, because it's very hard becoming a mother and being in a space where you feel like people hate their families. Like
mm,
they go home and they wish they could go back to work. It seems like they would rather spend time with us in the office, Lord Jesus, spend time with us in the office, um, than to. Can you hear me still?
yep.
Okay, spend more time with us in the office than to be at home with their families. And I would much rather never go back into the office ever again.
Right.
And so there's that disconnect there as well. So just trying to explore all those things and finding space to talk about this stuff, and then hopefully move into a space of action once everyone starts to feel more comfortable with each other and there's like level of rapport built. Because I know that those kind of things just can't be sprung up out of nowhere. You have to give things time to grow. Um, so yeah. all those
Well,
things.
if you do
All those
that,
things.
I'm trying to fly out there. Like, I need an excuse to go back to the Midwest. So I hope
I
to
feel
see you
you.
in person.
I know. I think I'll definitely be in a space probably towards the end of this year, where I'm willing to kind of venture out more, especially with the kids and everything. So we'll see. Um, but absolutely, and we can definitely check in more in this way as well. And hopefully, you can come to more events that we have and tap in with us. Let us know if there's things that you want to see, or that you want to contribute in any way. We're definitely open to that too.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, you have my number. So also, if you just want
Yeah.
to chit chat, text me.
Okay. I will. Look, I will. I'm the one that has no hesitancy. So thank you.
Of course. And no worries about that at all. Like, I'm in a space too of where I'd rather have authentic experiences. So when people want to talk, they usually hit me up. If I want to talk, I usually hit them up. And instead of doing the whole like, well, maybe they're busy or maybe they're just not in a place to talk right now, I just at least try to attempt. It's like I'm in that space of not wanting to do that in the middle of the pandemic, and there's a lot to get out of. But I'm out, I think. So call me, text me, whatever. I'm open to it. And yeah, we're gonna keep doing more stuff like this, more random chats, trying to find ways to build community, and just hold space for each other and see where that goes and explore all these different themes that themes and philosophies and stuff like that that I feel like have come up for a lot of us in these past couple of years, especially, and just see where all that goes. So I really appreciate you chiming in with me today.
Yes. Thanks for having me, and I look
Of
forward to
course.
seeing where it goes. All right.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna head out, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, bye.